For many of us, the investment in garden tools can represent quite a few dollars. And so it's really to our advantage to take good care of these garden tools once we have them in our possession. I've always found that normally what you pay for a garden tool reflects the quality that it is, because you can buy cheap ones and you can buy more expensive ones, and normally the more expensive ones are made out of heavier materials, they're more durable, and they're going to last longer. And now that the main gardening season is over and we have some time perhaps that we can do some of our cleanup type chores, it's a good idea to get the garden tools out, take a look at them, inspect them, clean them up, and store them for the winter time. On many of our tools, such as our hedge clippers and loppers and pruning shears, you may find that along the cutting edge there, because of where we've cut into the wood, there's been sap that has accumulated, and then dirt and grime has accumulated on this sap, and so you probably have a layer of crud in there that you need to get off. Some of this, it's a little harder to get off than others. You may have to use a little bit of water to soften it and scrape it either with a wire brush such as this, or just with a real rough rag, or even a chore girl, or some of the cleansing tools that you may use in the kitchen also work well. Once you have the garden tool cleaned up and all the foreign material and the sap and the dirt from it, then I like to get some oil, just common cheap motor oil, and squirt a little bit on the edge, the metal part of the material of the tool, and then wipe it well with a rag just to spread it out. And this will give it a coating and protect it from moisture, but also will help continue to clean some of the dirt that may be left on there. Also, as we're looking at these tools that we use for cutting purposes in the garden and around the landscape, such as the hedge clippers and the pruning shears, you might check now for the cutting edge to see how sharp it is. If you've used these for a good number of years and you've got some jagged edges on here or some nicks or some cuts in there, now is also a good time then to get these sharpened and get them ready for next year's use, because it won't be too long, of course, until we're ready to start some pruning in the landscape and around the garden area. And I would certainly recommend that you take your tools to someone who really knows how to sharpen. Many of you may try to use a file or a grindstone and sharpen your own tools, but unless you get these edges beveled just right and you have them sharpened evenly, you not only could ruin the effectiveness of the tool, but you actually could damage the tool and of course run the risk also of damaging yourself. So unless you're experienced in sharpening these tools, then find someone in your area who sharpens tools, maybe saws, scissors, knives, and of course garden tools, and try to get those sharpened up now. Not only hand tools, but also some of the larger tools in and around the garden also need to be maintained in much the same manner. Now when we get some of the heavier, bigger tools like the shovels and the hoes and the rakes, it may take a little bit longer, of course, than the smaller hand tools, but still it's a chore that really will benefit you if you take some time to do this cleaning up right now. And as you're looking at some of these tools now, then inspect them also for damage and for wear. For example, on this shovel, it's been used for several years, and it's beginning to crack along the edge and beginning to crack also toward the back of the shovel. It may have a little bit more use in it, but actually we're not going to be able to use this tool for very many more years. And so as you're cleaning up the tools, inspect them clean and inspect them well, and who knows, this may be a good idea for a Christmas gift for yourself or for someone else for that matter. So as you're looking at these and you find some of them that are damaged, then hint around for what you might need for Christmas, because certainly garden tools make excellent gifts for gardeners when you may have a hard time choosing some other gift to get for them. Other types of equipment you may want to be cleaning up around the garden and the garden shed area, of course, are your sprayers. Be sure that you have all the materials removed from the sprayers, that the sprayer pump is working well, and that you read the maintenance manual with your sprayer to clean those up also. Well, there's a lot of things that can be done just as far as maintenance goes in and around the garden this time of the year. So don't let this slack garden slow you down, because before you know it, next year's gardening season will be here, and you'll really want to be spending your time then getting out gardening instead of maintaining the garden tools.